Good afternoon, YouTube. Okay, Windows. What makes it better than Macintosh? Okay, well, it certainly isn't security because there isn't any. Yeah, I know. You guys think you have security. You don't. Sorry. Um, if you did, you wouldn't be getting hacked so damn much, let alone virus. Okay, I mean, it's just the way it is. But what is the major thing that Windows holds the candle on? You'd say, well, gaming, of course. Gaming is definitely where Windows is. Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about. Okay? We already know that gaming is superior on PCs for now. Okay? It's getting closer to the race. What's best about Windows compared to Mac OS? You have any games that were like Windows 98 or XP 2000, right? Those games, a lot of them will still run under Windows 11 and on really high performance systems compared to back in the day. So let's take a look at that. So back in the day, my favorite game, of course, is Far Cry. I've been playing this since it came out. And I love the AI in it, even still today. I mean, every time you die and you respawn, crap's different. Every time you beat the game and play it again, things are different. Challenges are different, right? And I'm still playing basically on the medium level of hardness. I don't like the other levels because they're way too freaking hard to play, right? But so I still keep playing it until I can completely master this game, which good luck because the AI in it keeps screwing with you. Anyways, but back in the day, this is a very low spec program. Like for the very minimum, you needed 256 megabytes of RAM for the game, okay? You only needed a 64 megabyte graphic card, right? Now you do need DirectX 9 and 3D capabilities, but your Windows OS was 98 SE ME 2000 XP. Now 95 and NT were not supported, which is fine. 4 gigabytes of drive space, not a big deal, okay? Sound card, yeah. Recommended, so this is going to be your best performance, best resolution as well, so you'd be able to get up to a 1080p screen. I don't know, did we even have 1080p back then? I think we might have. It's hard to say. I don't remember that far back. It's been a long time. Anyways, so a Pentium 4 or Athlon XP 2 gigahertz processor is better. Half a gig of RAM for the game, okay, to run. 128 megs of video power. DirectX 9.0 compliant video card, obviously. And they were talking NVIDIAs and Radeons with both of the sides. 128 megabytes of total video RAM. Pixel Shader 2.0, Vertex Shader 2.0, 3D, yes, etc., etc., okay? OS recommended is XP. Still going to have the same free disk space and, of course, a sound card. Now, I love this game because it's never the same. Even every time you die and you respawn, it's never the same, right? The other thing is this is one of those games that when you increased your screen capability resolutions, it would follow suit, especially with your other hardware like your video, etc. And this game gets like absolutely insane FPS. Okay, now I'm playing this on an Asus TUF 17 gamer laptop that's about 2 years old. And it's got an 8-core CPU in it that cranks over 4 point something gigahertz, 4.5 gigahertz, somewhere on there. This game actually won't even utilize my whole CPU. It does make use of my graphics though, because, well, I'm at 4K, right? So that is fantastic. Anti-aliasing. As you have more available, it gives you more available, right? But I can even drop this resolution right down to 720 if I wanted to, okay? Or I can play it at 1024. And the lower I drop the resolution, the faster the FPS goes. But in just 4K alone, let's take a look and see actually how the game plays. Now, I always play on medium graphics, but there's also challenging, veteran, and realistic. I tried realistic once and it's like, forget it, this is just not for me, right? AI auto balance. So if you want the AI active, right? And even if you don't have it active, it still changes things up, okay? Which is kind of cool. So if we load our checkpoint, I'm just going to go back to the training area here. Let's actually start right at the beginning, okay? So we're going to load this checkpoint. Now, like I said, I've been playing this game since it came out, and I still love it. I pretty much ignore my other Far Cry games because I just love this one so much, you know. But I do have Far Cry 2 and 3 on computer, and then of course I've got pretty much all the Far Cries except for about maybe 3 of them on my PlayStation, which I don't even play that damn thing. But the graphic quality at 4K is really good. Now, one of the things we should take a look at is like frames per second. Okay, something that we can track these days. Now, my VRAM is about 26% usage. My GPU is about 63% right now, and 8% of my CPU. And my base clock is 2.3, but this will overclock if it needs to, if the game or program demands it to. It actually does. And that's the wonderful thing about PCs in that part, I guess, is they have all those capabilities, which Intel Macs did too, right? We had the base and the turbos, but now it's all Apple Silicon, and you know, this game still will not run on a Mac yet, but that's not a big deal. So we're getting about 182, 148, 165, 57, 121, and we're at 4K, and that's fine, okay? So that is more than playable for having top level graphics at 4K. All the other settings, by the way, like for the medium to high to ultras, it's all set as high as it can possibly go with the water at ultra. Okay, so this gives you the best clarity of the water, right? So anyway, so that's sitting at that point. Now, if we just escape out of here for a minute. Let's change things up a little bit. Let's drop this down to 2K and see what our differences is here. So we'll just hit apply. And let's go back into the game. Now we're getting, you know, near 300 FPS to almost 200 FPS. We get little pops to 3. 305. I mean, but the graphic quality is like amazing still. Okay, so let's just take it down a few more notches. Let's go 1024 by 768. We're still going to leave everything else all on the high, very high, and ultra high settings, okay? And we want to get back to 1024, apply. So now it's going to do its little cycle thing again. Nice thing is I don't have to reboot the game. Now this part kind of does suck when you go to this kind of a resolution, right? So it's kind of like, yeah, well, you know, what do you do, right? Let's just return to the game anyways and see how our FPS is going to change. We're up 446, 400, 311, 278, 375, 529, 535. I mean, this thing cooks pretty good, you know. And even I could play in a window this size, even though it's a 27-inch screen. I'm still getting large, right? So one more test, okay, and let's go 1080p. Because that's what most gamers are playing at is 1080. So 1920 by 1080, and everything else stays the same, okay? And main menu, return to game. And let's see what we get here. 316, 267, 256, 277, 284, 281, 87, 373, 410, 421, 403. The water is beautiful. And even looking down underneath, we got all of our fish and stuff. Like everything is cranked. We got our birds. By the way, you can shoot the birds out of the sky and blow them up. It's kind of fun, actually. Ah, birds got away. If we find another bird, we'll shoot one. But yeah, 429, 388, 391. And the graphics are still amazing on this game. So Windows will offer you the ability to play even yesteryear's games, you know, a lot of them. Now there's obviously going to be some games that are just not going to be able to run there from like that time period, you know, and that's fine. I mean, I've run across a couple of them that don't, okay, and it's not a make it or break it kind of deal. Now, I prefer playing this game really in 2K level, so 2560 by 1440, apply, and I'm also on the Paradise mode too, so you can change your render mode from Paradise, Improved, Cold, Default, whatever, Cartoon. It's kind of actually interesting. But yeah, a really, really good solid game, okay? Now, as far as other games go that are really super old, how about Unreal Tournament, okay? 2004, runs fantastic. Return to Castle Wolfenstein, very old game, okay? You know, and so a lot of your games from way back will run on your modern day PC with Windows 11. When it comes to the Mac OS, every time we would get past a certain level, either for updates in the same OS level or we get a whole new OS, we would lose out on programs, and that still actually happens today. On the Mac side, I'm running Mac OS Sequoia 15.2. Previous to that update, my wrapped PC program of Vice City, okay, it was working, but on 15.2 Sequoia update, it disabled my wrapper for Vice City. Now, San Andreas still runs. San Andreas, old game too, right? And run that in 4K, hassle-free. And it runs absolutely flawless, okay? And that's as a wrapper. And I've used Paul the Tall Porting Toolkit. I'm not using crossover or parallels on my Apple Silicon Mac, right? So, but yeah, certainly, I mean, you're talking a pretty juicy system compared to what we had back in the day. And a game like this, you know, can go to the upper graphics. Now, that's the thing with a game like Unreal Tournament is another one here. Like I said, this is an old game, right? And this is the PC native version. I actually have it wrapped for the Mac because the Mac only version no longer runs on the Mac unless it's on an older Mac with an old OS. Okay, so here we're at 1920 by 1200, and that is the maximum that this game supports on a 4K display. So I can't get any higher than this. So this is about as high as you're gonna go. Direct 3D or software controlled, leave it on Direct 3D. Everything is cranked to the literal tops here. It doesn't get any more higher performance than this, okay? And even a game like this, let's just load something here for you. Cutthroat Deathmatch. Now this is a game where the graphics at full bore, you're gonna need, even back then, a little bit more powerful computer to get that. To get what we see here, which is absolutely beautiful, okay? But on this, I mean, that looks like real liquid water. Like, that is, like, really well done. And the speed and performance of the game, still amazing. Just phenomenal, right? And it is a fun game. I need to get a machine gun going. Ooh, maybe not. Oh, I got killed. But even this game, let's exit here. Let's take a look at the specs. Okay, so Unreal. Specs. So a Pentium 3 or Athlon, 1.5 gigahertz CPU, 256 RAM, NVIDIA GeForce 2 or an ATI Radeon with at least 64 megabytes of video memory. I got like 4 gig. Okay, total video RAM 64 meg, 3D yes. DirectX 8.1 included. Windows OS 98 ME 2000 or XP. That's how old this game is. Like, it's pretty friggin' old. But running under Windows 11, it's like, that is really good. So, PCs do have some advantages, definitely, over Apple, that kind of keeps me a little appealed on the gaming side of the world, okay? They definitely will game better than Macs, and the programs run longer with newer operating systems. Like, you're talking back in the day of XP, like how many OSs have been out since then to get us to Windows 11? Now, I don't know what's going to happen in Windows 12, but we're going to find out, because as soon as 12 comes out, I'm updating my OS right to 12, right? Now, there are a lot of drawbacks to Windows computers over Macs. Big stuff is security, viruses, getting hacked, okay? Very rare occasion, if ever, on a Mac, but PCs, it's kind of like an everyday experience. But the gaming side of the house, I mean, these things play phenomenal games without breaking the budget either. You know, I mean, I paid $2,000 for the computer. I spent another $200 on 64 gigs of RAM. I spent another 300 and change on a couple of massive, super high performance drives that run in this computer. And the games run fine. I have other games I still haven't installed. I got like a whole friggin' drive full of stuff I still haven't installed on this thing. And I'm getting there slowly. It's time consuming, and I got to get time on my hands to do it. But I would say, you know, that's where we're at. So it's not about, you know, upgradability and stuff, because a lot of PC manufacturers are starting to be like Apple when it comes to not allowing stuff. But as long as we got desktops, I think we're pretty much okay for Windows machines. And a lot of our laptops, especially gamer laptops, will still be able to upgrade stuff for, you know, like RAM and drives, you know, type of thing. But we can't do a whole lot of extra stuff other than that, depending on the computer you buy, though. But anyways, I thought I'd share this with you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.